So thank you for having us here. What an outstanding event, and I brought two guinea pigs with me here. I'm going to introduce them here. So this is Yerl Cruz. He's an 8th grader at the junior high. He was born in Mexico, but has lived in Mattawa his whole life. He's a member of our junior high wrestling team, baseball team, technology student association, which is, you'll hear that tonight several times, TSA, and our robotics club president. His parents are migrant farm workers, and his father, Angel, is actually here. Angel. So please welcome Angel and Uriel. All right. And then Jessica Ariano, she is a 10th grade Wahluke High School sophomore, and she was born in Othello, but has lived in Mattawa her entire life. She's sophomore class president, TSA Association club president, cross-country team captain, drum major, and the reason we were late is she ran the 1600 at about 5:30 tonight, and we drove an hour from Mattawa. Personal best, second place, and her mom, Roberta, is here. So before we start, I thought I'd take a second and share a little bit about just a couple core beliefs that I have. So when I became principal at Wahluke Junior High 4 years ago, I believe that providing opportunities for kids is one of the biggest things that we can do. I'll have my staff, they will vouch for this, some of them are here right now. I don't say that we have bad kids at our school, but we have bored kids. And so providing those opportunities is one of the keys to our success. The other one is just forming those positive adult relationships. We can't do anything without having those relationships, but once those two things are in place, I really think that we've gotten some momentum. So when I took over 4 years ago, our discipline suspensions were sitting at about 300 office referrals and about 200 suspensions. And over the last 3 years of just chipping away at those positive relationships and providing opportunities, we've been able to reduce our office referrals down to 90 last year and less than 40 suspensions. Now I would like to think that it was the principal that did that, but we know better. So we really believe that it's an amazing staff that has bought into forming those relationships and providing opportunities.
So that sounds great, Mr. Harlow, but what does InvestED have to do with all of that?
Well, that's the beautiful part, and that's kind of where InvestED comes in, is that we create so many opportunities. STEM, robotics, leadership club, band, all of these things are great, but there's a cost that's involved with it. Another thing is just for example, this year we have 200 of our 300 7th and 8th graders. So 2/3 of our school is in a spring sport right now. Which is outstanding, but the downside to that is there's cost. ASB cards, cleats, running shoes, things like that. And so the disappointing thing, or the most frustrating thing as a principal, is when you want to provide these opportunities for kids, and the kids want to do it, but we can't provide those opportunities or they can't take advantage of them because they can't afford a $10 ASB card. So as you can imagine, this is frustrating, and one of our themes at our school is watering the bamboo. So how do you water the bamboo if you don't have the resources?
Hey, Mr. Harlow, there may be some people here tonight that do not know what water the bamboo means. Can you explain what water the bamboo means to the audience?
Of course. Each year since Mr. Harlow has been principal, his staff has helped him choose a theme for the year. Don't Stop Believing, Growth Mindset, and Water the Bamboo. Water the Bamboo is a metaphor for staff and students, and what it means is that for 3 years, bamboo farmers will water their bamboo seeds and nothing will happen. But in the 4th year, the bamboo will grow an amazing 90 feet in only 60 days. Sometimes, in education and in life, it's a lot like this. We work and work at something, but don't see our success for many years.
So just to clarify, you're calling all of these nice-looking people here tonight bamboo farmers. And you're calling Jessica and I your bamboo?
Correct. So, I know it's just a metaphor, but it is powerful. We talk about it all the time, and I'm looking at my staff just to reassure me. Yes, we said it over and over, and it's frustrating, right? We work and we work and we work, and when is this kid gonna get it? And it sometimes takes 3, 4, or sometimes my wife says 10, 20 years. So, what do we hear about and what do we want to do? Again, why is InvestED important, and why is it important, especially to us out at Wahluk? If you've ever had to deal with having to go through that chain where the red tape of filling something out for a field trip or for putting it in school supply list, and you send it over to the business office, and it sits and it sits, and 1 week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, you can see the frustration. The very people that you're trying to help, we can't get the support to the very kids that we need. So it sits there, and guys like this can't get the support.
Sorry, it sounds like you're talking about bureaucracy.
Well, bureaucracy is a thing we all love. It's the excessive, complicated, administrative procedures that can slow down the process of an entire organization.
Okay. So to illustrate this, we want to have a little fun. So what I'm looking for is one volunteer, and I promise we won't embarrass you, you won't get hurt. We just need one volunteer to come up and play along with us. Come on, you guys have had wine, there should be. All right, get up. We got it? Okay, you're gonna come stand right over here. All right, so what I want you guys to think about is just for a second, take 10 seconds and think about that time when bureaucracy has been involved in your life, personally or professionally, and it's gotten in the way, and maybe even what damage it's caused by dealing with the bureaucracy. So take 10 seconds, think about that. How many teachers do we have? Okay, this should be really easy for all of you. All right? Okay, now what I'd like you to do is you're going to take 30 seconds, you're going to turn to a friend or a neighbor that you came here with tonight, share that example really quickly, and then when I raise my hand, you guys are going to give your attention back up here, and we're going to have a little fun. All right, so take 30 seconds. And we're going to take some volunteers, so come up with some good ones. All right, so what I thought I'd do is I'm just going to take some, we're going to have a little fun. I'm going to take a couple of you, give me one example. There's someone that'd like to share an example of bureaucracy red tape.
Requisitions.
Say that one more time.
You know what it is.
Okay. So, oh David, I'm so sorry. Okay, give me one more.
Paperwork.
Paperwork. All right. Go ahead and give him another one there. Someone else.
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Audit.
Audits? Is somebody who's
I'm gonna have to say testing.
IRS? What'd you say? Oh, do we have a little testing kind of coming up here? Okay, and we need one more. Give me one more.
Federal program.
What is it?
Federal
program. We need more wine. Okay. So I think we're. Okay. So let's start with Uriel, and I think you guys kind of see where we're headed, or hopefully kind of where we're headed with this. Uriel, give me an example at the junior high. How do we try to cut through the red tape with the help of InvestED?
Well, by purchasing their ASB cards, which can cost $15 at the junior high and around $35 at the high school.
Awesome. So we're gonna cut that away. All right, Uriel. All right, excuse me, Jessica, can you give me one?
They help pay partial fees for school clubs, organizations that can range all the way from $10 to $150.
Which is a good thing. As a principal, sometimes I can't pay, $10, $15 for entry fees, but when it gets into $150, it's really hard. So if we even use it just to offset it a little bit, it's really important. All right, so we cut a little more away. Ooh, there we go. All right, give me one more, Jessica.
You can also help by covering partial fees for entry registrations to our, like for example, our robotics competitions or when our marching band performed at the WSU halftime show.
Awesome. You have one more?
By helping pay for their PE uniforms.
Okay. And then there was a really unique one that we came up with. What was that one?
Yeah, in preparing for this event, I figured out that InvestED was able to help out one of our students by purchasing an acne medication for a student that was in a serious acne problem and was too embarrassed to come to school.
Okay. So again, just a unique thing, but it really made a big difference. So we're going to rip that last one off. Okay. So this was our theme last year, and maybe you can use it. Okay. All right. Okay. So before we close, I asked these guys to share a personal example of how InvestED had helped them. So, Yuri, do you want to share really quick how InvestED has helped you over the last couple of years?
Yes. InvestED has helped me and my friends participate in the Technology Student Association conference, state conference, and without InvestED's small contribution, I can't imagine how I would be able to participate in something like that. It is very appreciated, and thank you. Jessica, do you want to?
And just real quick, so to give it some sense, to go to the TSA conference, it's really expensive. They raise money all year. The building budget put in $50. TSA, InvestED put in $25. They raised $200, and so it just as that little extra help to offset the cost so that they can get to that TSA conference. And Jessica?
Coming from a low economic and resource town like Mattawa, I understand we won't always have the same opportunities as other students. But thanks to the contributions from InvestED along the way, several doors that may have not been opened are now open. I believe it has given me that extra in triumph. And a few weeks ago, I attended the TSA state conference where I was named the 2016-2017 state vice president for Washington. The TSA vice president for Washington State. It's the little things like what InvestED provides that helps me that pushes me and continues pushing me and other students at Wahluk Junior High and at Wahluk High School.
Okay. So just one last thing. Again, we can't thank you guys enough for what it does for us, and I hope you take away from this just it's something that allows us to help kids immediately and just not have to go through all that red tape. Last thing is as we were preparing, Jessica shared something with Uriel and I that I thought was really a neat quote. So we just want to leave you with a little inspiration tonight before you guys head out. I'm not sure.
After a storm, there is always a rainbow. Like when we fall down, we should always remember it and use that as motivation to push through.
All right, thank you guys.
Good.